For Caitlin, she started out by talking about a consumer or a customer focus, but really much of what she talked about, which I was pleased to hear, was more of a citizen focus. And so the question for her is, how do you tweak people to move from a customer focus, do this for me, versus I'm participating, but I'm not the only one, or whatever you call the citizen.
So the first question, and you can answer all three together. First question is, how do you move citizens from a customer focus to a participant focus?
Right, and I do believe that there's a difference. I think that that's merely, that's more of kind of a rationale for why it's important for the CDC to do it, because we focus more on them as participants rather than customers, but I think that that's kind of a rationale for why it's important.
Okay.
Question number two, great to hear this. In doing this, is CDC under any formal administrative obligations in terms of how it handles the feedback, or is this something you're able to kind of make up your own procedures for?
Is the CDC under any type of administrative requirement in terms of how they handle the feedback, or can you create your own policy?
No, I mean, that's kind of what's so interesting, at least for me, because I've been working on this for about 3 years with Dr. Bernier, and the majority of what we're doing, all of what we're doing, there's no requirement to have citizen engagement as part of this process. So it's all been kind of agency initiated, where we've seen a gap between where there's a policy decision that kind of is stuck and that can't go forward without any citizen input. So there hasn't been any kind of formal reporting back requirement, and that's something that I think that we feel like we need to improve upon, because lots of times it's just, identify, like kind of contacting the citizens and saying, like, here's the report, it's posted on this website, but actually having real feedback meetings or something is something we kind of would like to improve upon, but there's no requirement.
Okay, and the final question.
Has there been any online element to your deliberation sessions, and if so, can you talk about how you made that happen?
Yes, there have been for 2 of the projects. There was one for a vaccine prioritization project that we did, I believe that was 2008, and then most recently we did one on a project on H1N1 vaccine program, and we had online components as part of those. We used a group called WestEd out of California, and they kind of set that up for us. And really what it did was it mimicked the in-person meetings, and we had subject matter experts there to kind of, discussions would be posted, and then the online experts would be there, different discussion areas, and the online experts would be there to answer questions. As we found it's difficult because we had really high goals as far as the number of citizen participants, and it was really, really difficult to get them. And I don't really know why, and that's something we haven't really figured out yet. Because as far as the recruitment, WestEd was, they contacted every civic organization in their database, and really, and especially during the H1N1 vaccine program project, that was really, that happened during August and September of this year, so it would seem to draw a lot of citizen interest, but it was really difficult to get people there. And also it was difficult, as far as from our perspective, to have the manpower, to have all those subject matter experts to devote the amount of time that was needed to be there to answer all the questions. And that's really important, because people come with all kinds of questions that may be relevant or not relevant. But we did have a facilitator, a facilitation team that was meant to try to keep people on task. But so those were kind of the 2 difficulties, I guess, that we saw. As far as it contributing that much to the final outcome, I don't really think, in this case, I don't really feel like for us, the in-person meetings were so much more productive.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Caitlin. Have a great day.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.